Good day fellas, and thank you for tuning in. This is T4 Madden Chalk Talk. And you are live with Berm Star. Today, we are taking a look at trips tight end offset in the Dallas Cowboys playbook. This is one of the best passing formations in the game that also features amazing run plays. Take a moment to sub and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Hit that thumb and drop a note after, tell us what you think.
Alright, so we're going to take a quick look at trips tight end offset. Reason being, I realized this is actually in 3 or 4 of the offenses that I'm using right now. Like, it's in Cowboys, it's in Seattle, it's in Atlanta. So I'm going to be using, if I'm using it, I'm using these plays. I'm using the RPO trap bubble. I am using the flood. I'm using the level sail, and I'm using the curl combo because I would audible into it. Like, if I'm using it in Seattle, I use 11 personnel in Seattle anyway as my base, so I would audible into this. If I were coming out in it, I would probably come out in the trap and then put the halfback slip screen into my audibles, and I'll show you exactly how that'll work. I'm going to come out in the slip screen though for the purposes of this. So if I were running this as a base, those would be my 5 plays. Reason being, the slip screen, if the right hand of the field looks weak, I can throw the slip screen out. The left hand of the field looks weak, I throw the bubble. The middle looks weak, I run the trap. I literally based an offense around this last year and an amazing pass play out of run and shoot, and everybody loved it. I actually had somebody tell me I should have charged more money for the ebook because he was winning money games with it. Of course, there was more than just the bubble, the trap, and the screen, but this was how we started, just taking advantage of the leverage of the defense. Very simple, but very effective, because you really are going to dictate to defenders. They're going to have to come into, make sure that they can guard the bubble, make sure the right flat and the left flat are both accounted for. And then we had a pass play that was bombing every single coverage, so it didn't even matter what he was doing to adjust. I mean, it was amazing. So this is what we're doing right here. We would set up the same sort of concept: slip screen, trap, run, or bubble screen. The whole field is not going to be covered. You're going to have an advantage of somewhere. You can run the 3 of those probably for a drive or 2 without passing the ball or doing anything else. And right now, Madden, you can run trap without doing anything else and fall forward for a touchdown. But anyway, I won't advocate for that because I absolutely hate the fall forward thing. Alright, so now to the actual passing plays. And we will start by taking a look at the play flood. I have 2 setups for flood. First of all, this route to the A receiver is terribly underrated. I might do a video on that. But we're going to put the halfback on an option route, so we have an option if it's zone or if it's man. First thing we're going to do is read the flat between B and Y. Something's always going to be open versus man. The chances of your opponent actually, you see how A comes wide open on the back end? If he uses chasing out, he doesn't stand a chance. But the likelihood of there being Mabel coverage on this side of the field where we're attacking now is very slim, because the most popular plays in this game attack the other side of the field. So you're going to have a user who has to absolutely worry about that those PA crossers, or PA boot. I don't even know what it's called because I don't use this formation that much, but I have taken it in game and I will put some gameplay footage out here for you guys. But yeah, so your reads are simple: B and Y, and then you're going to have A trailing coming behind it. You see he is open, but I've got under pressure inaccurate. And then you have the halfback who creates a high-low, actually back there in the middle. So we have a high-low on the left side of the field, and we have a high-low in the middle of the field that's coming in behind it, and that area of the field gets vacated. So it's almost like this is a backside post with a bit of a delay. So that double move makes the timing of that A route absolutely perfect when it hits this space. And that's why I say it's underrated. I think a lot of us will see it and just want it to roast man coverage, and it does alright against man if you have the right tight end. Now, anyway, the other thing I'll do, because I use this motion a lot, is I'll motion over gallop and have these double hitches. And we all know, especially if somebody's blitzing, hitches on either side of the line are extremely difficult to defend. The nice thing about this setup is that the tight ends route and the running backs route are already going to stretch the zones that are right there in that area. So one of these three are bound to be wide open. So it's great against zone. Of course, you can lowball the hitches against man if you snap it against man. If I think it's man, chances are I will be calling something else. But you absolutely, if you snap it and realize it's man, you absolutely can lowball one of those hitches. Not a problem. And don't forget, it's not just the hitches we're looking at. So if the tight end comes open, by all means hit him. If the running back comes open, by all means hit him. This is a very underrated aspect of the game, of these spacing concepts. And of course, you can put the running back on a wheel. You can put the outside receiver on an out route or a whip. I would mess around with those two routes, but I really want those two hitches. I want something coming under the tight end, and I want the tight end on his stock route. I think that plays very nicely together. Curl combo is one I only have one setup for. I'm not motioning, I'm not hot routing, I'm honestly snapping it as it is. Spacing concepts are, I want to say, underrated in Madden, to be completely honest. And the spots where these all hit, it's very hard for a user to cover everything. You see, I had Axe and A wide open there, for a user to cover everything, and for zone, you're more likely going to be finding soft spots in zone somewhere. Look, Axe is open, RB is open. If you call this play against zone, just like the play before it though, I'm not really gonna call this against man, but there are ways to go ahead and lowball one of these routes real quickly if it is man. Now flood, the first setup for flood, we can run against man because the running back's on an option. The tight end, if he's good enough, will win, and that deep out will win. So don't get me wrong, but it's not my go-to against man. Again, we could lowball. Look at A wide open over there, so we can go ahead and dump that. You're usually gonna have somebody open up against these zones. Of course, if somebody's sending heat, then you want to think about what it is you're doing to counter that. I will probably go back to the double hitches to make them fall off. We can block a lot of people out of this formation as well. You can block 1, 2, 7. Yeah, you can block 7 people. So we have a lot of options. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the popular play. PA crosses is what it's called. And there are a couple different ways you can run this. If I'm not motioning, I'm pretty much gonna probably drag Jarin, smart route Cooper, and then put Zeke on an out route. And I do know there are some popular setups that involve the delay fade to the tight end. And I delay fade my tight end in a lot of formations, but not to throw the delay fade. I do it to block the tight end. So if I'm doing it here, I'll probably be blocking him again. So here, drag Y, put RB on an out route. So to be completely honest, it's gonna be a lot of the same thing, just in different forms. You know, even when you see me doing the motion setup, you can motion a wheel, you can motion a slant, you can motion a wheel, you can motion a drag, you can motion a slant. And to have one going back the opposite way is always good. This sort of thing, I actually like to streak the tight end here too, and the tight end will be a good quick read, and then your slant and your crosser. I actually do that out of split twins right now. I have a setup on the split twins that I do that with. I did that in a couple formations last year. I mean, it's a great route combo, having those two crossing each other, right? A crosser or a post with a slant. It's always been good in Madden. And yes, you see, so here you go. So something like this is something that's more typical for how I run offenses. Like you would see me do that. Again, I don't use this formation a lot, but I do that out of other formations quite a lot. So when you see concepts that you're familiar with or that you're comfortable with, because there are some concepts that I won't run, that are great for other people, but you figure out what you're comfortable with, what works for you and what's effective, and try to fit it into your offense. You don't have to take this and say, okay, I have to get into Seattle's playbook or Atlanta's playbook so I can run this. By all means, there are a million different trips type of looks where you can recreate these plays. Take a quick look. Yeah, and that's it. So I'm not gonna go too much further into it. There's a read option there if you have a mobile quarterback. I don't use read option a lot, but it is an effective play. But with Dak Prescott, I'm really running if a play breaks down. I'm not running on purpose. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.
Thanks for rocking with the squad. Remember, real life comes first, but when you do pick up the sticks, give 'em hell.